Happy Tuesday, everyone. My name is Ashley Doyen. I'm an enterprise account manager at CPA.com. And with me today, we have friends and family, Kevin Cumley with Sage Intacct. Kevin is the director of the Sage Intacct Accountants Program. So welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining me today.
Well, hi, Ashley, and great to be here. Nice to see you.
You too. So if you don't mind sharing with the audience a little bit about Sage Intacct, of course, you guys are going to have a presence as we're kicking off our digital CPA learning labs, which take place on December 3rd, where participants for DCPA will have an opportunity to meet with you during those learning labs, ask questions about Sage Intacct. So to give them a good idea of who they should be on the lookout for, again, if you can provide some background information, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sage Intacct is part of Sage, which is the largest provider of financial solutions and applications to the small and mid-sized organizations in the world. Sage Intacct is one of the leading cloud platforms, native cloud platforms for medium-sized organizations to manage their financial departments and needs.
Wonderful. Thank you. So then with you being a DCPA sponsor and then also being a partner of CPA.com's through this accountants program, what is it that you are looking forward to sharing the most with our participants of DCPA this year?
Well, several things. And I think you would be remiss if you didn't at least, touch on or start with COVID. I mean, obviously it's having a huge impact on everybody. It's very sad and devastating, not only at the local level but nationally and around the world, and has certainly had an impact on the entire profession and the firms that are in our program. So that's something that we're focusing a lot of time and energy around, Ashley, to make sure that not only are we sensitive to what's happening to small and mid-sized organizations, but also the impacts that it's having on the partners, the firms that are in our program, and doing everything possible in order for us to make adjustments that will help in the best way possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, we're in the thick of this, and it's definitely impacting businesses. It's impacting firms, but there's also, not to look at it from an opportunistic standpoint, but there's also a lot of, opportunity, for lack of better terms, out there for firms because, businesses are recognizing that they need client accounting services. And there's really no better time to be in the profession providing CAS, and especially no better time to be partnering with a solution like Sage Intacct that's going to enable them to do that. So it's exciting to hear that you guys are aware, and recognizing what's taking place and looking at ways that you can continue to be a support system for those firms.
Yeah.
So looking or thinking about the technology specifically, is there anything emerging that comes to mind that you think is exciting that you, again, would want to share with our participants this year?
Well, there's several things that come to mind. From a product perspective, just a lot of the great advancements that we've had around artificial intelligence and RPA. And you're seeing not only a significantly increased interest in the profession, but a need and a demand, for those things. Because as we're seeing, COVID has it's become a catalyst to, force, many, if not almost all, small and mid-sized organizations to go remote. And so having those cloud platforms has been, absolutely critical in terms of being able to provide stability, continuity, and really great real-time information in order for them to be able to continue their operations without disruption. RPA is certainly a big part of that. Some of the products that integrate with Intacct, like Bill.com, is a perfect example, or Expensify, things that automate those things in the cloud. And then a lot of the functionality that exists within Sage Intacct as well. One of the announcements that we made at our annual customer and partner conference this year was the announcement of the intelligent GL. So that's now, we're incorporating artificial intelligence, into our financial platform, where it's watching for anomalies. It's looking for things, and maybe some of it's just basic mistakes. Somebody posted things or coded under the wrong place. it's fine. The system's going to notice that as an exception, but it's also watching for things that maybe aren't as honest or innocent, and
Mhm.
trying to keep track of those as well. So it's just a great first step, an example of the kind of advancements that we're having with Sage Intacct, in that area, that really provide a lot of benefit to accountants, not only to help, safeguard the systems that they manage with their clients in these CAS engagements, but more importantly, to help make sure that they're safeguarding, the assets of the organizations that they serve.
It's wonderful. I think 2020 has been a very exciting year with artificial intelligence, because it's been something that we've been talking about for a long time. The profession has been, and kind of watching, okay, what are vendors going to do? What are software companies going to do? So to start to see some of it come to fruition and implemented for firms to start to use in reality is really exciting stuff. So then, what makes you most excited about being part of the digital CPA community?
Well, I'd say there are several things. First, it's, to your point, there's been a lot of change that's been sort of slow and incremental over the years. Accountants aren't necessarily known for being risk takers. And that's by design. That's, they're in the profession for a reason, and that's a good thing. Again, it helps provide protections for small and mid-sized organizations that they serve. But COVID, again, has become a catalyst to force a lot of people to make some of these changes. So for me, it's seeing an accelerated shift to the cloud. Because we know the benefits that it provides, to their clients, and the definite benefits that it provides to the firms. So for a lot of them, it's kind of moved them off the fence. And now that they're starting to go in that direction, just the excitement and the early wins and successes that we're seeing for those firms. If you move a little further down kind of the evolutionary path, firms that have been in the program for a while, to your point earlier, are seeing a lot of growth and success. And for firms that are making the additional investments in places like marketing, there's a lot of opportunity for them to be able to provide additional help and services to these organizations that are struggling. And having platforms like Intacct and the Sage Intacct Accountants Program are really beneficial in order to enable that to happen. And so for me, that's one of the things that's really exciting, is just seeing the shift. And I guess thirdly is, now you're seeing more and more larger organizations, so these true medium segment or mid-market organizations that are looking to make a change. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that their organizations disrupted, especially in the back office area. And it's not uncommon when times get tough for those admin positions to get cut or to get cut back, but they still need that the financial function in place. It's mission critical. Organizations can't survive without having great, accurate, timely financial insights to help guide them in their business decisions and where they plan to go. And so in the past, oftentimes they would look at outsourcing as a stopgap or a short-term solution, sort of that Band-Aid, that they could apply until things got better. Now a lot of them are looking at it and saying, hey, this is really a better way.
Yeah, long-term solution.
It's a great long-term solution because we don't have to try to hire for that. We don't have to try to manage it. We can outsource that to an organization, a firm that has a much larger team of experts, or they've got duplicate or triplicate or more in terms of people for backups in case something happens. They've got the absolute best cloud platforms in the world with products like Intacct or Bill.com, things that they might not be able to afford or deploy on their own. And now they've got best-in-class technology. They've got the absolute best possible talent that they can use. They have firms that are experts in the industry or the vertical, where these organizations live. They've got continuity, they've got stability, scalability, efficiencies, all these things that outsourcing brings into play. And it's just a tremendous opportunity. And it's really rewarding to see, our firms be able to help these organizations during these difficult times.
Absolutely. So we've talked a lot about the environment of 2020 and how firms have been responding to that, and the technology that's in place to support those firms. Some of those are already well positioned with that technology, and then those again that are starting to adapt it so that they can continue to evolve. So looking into 2021, if there's one thing that you could say would really well position those firms to take advantage of some of these things, or one action item that you think that they should take, what would that be?
Have a great, not good, but great business plan in place, a written business plan. You'd be surprised, Ashley. Well, you wouldn't, because you work with these firms as well. But how many firms don't have a written plan?
Mm-hmm.
And if they've got a plan, how many of them don't actually use it and execute against it and update it? In fact, I was in meetings right before this where we were doing annual strategic planning, and we were looking at our plan, and we were talking about the fact that COVID had such a significant impact. And whether it's COVID or other things that roll in, you've got to be dynamic. You've got to be able to react, and you have to be able to adjust your plan in order to make sure that you achieve your goals. So I'd say if there's one piece of advice that I would give, it would be have a great plan in place. Make sure it's got all the components that should be there, and then work that plan.
Yep. And I love what you say that it's a fluid document, a business plan. It's not something that you write, you put down, and you never look at it again. It should be changing quarterly, annually, updating. So I love that. And as you know, Kevin, the good thing is CPA.com is here to help with those business plans, and then even Sage Intacct as well. So, all good stuff. So I appreciate you jumping on and joining me today to talk with our participants for DCPA. Again, everyone, Sage Intacct will have their learning labs on the 3rd, and that is taking place at from 1 to 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So again, feel free to log in and chat with them in the Research Center, and we're looking forward to having everyone participate.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody there virtually as well, Ashley.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kevin. Have a good rest of your day.
You bet. Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.